Okay, the first is the title bar. Below the title bar is the menu bar. And in the menu bar, we have the file. When you click on the file menu, it brings us to this page. That's the file menu. Then you have the home menu. Click on insert menu. Click on modeling menu. When you click on the view menu, you click on the optimize menu. Now the home menu helps you to build visualization because you have a lot of commands that help you to create visualization. Insert menu helps you to insert items, insert powerful buttons, powerful shapes that can make your visualization or your dashboard interactive. So you have a lot of them, and each of them is divided into groups. Like the insert menu, we have the pages, the visual groups, we have the AI visuals, we have the Power Platform elements and Spark. Now, when you go to the modeling view, here it contains tools that help you to create, make you to create different types of visualization in your Power BI. The view menu helps you to view your Power BI and also contains functionalities that can help you to create an interactive dashboard in your Power BI. Then we have the optimized web and external. Now, below that, when you go to the right-hand side, we have the data panel. On the right-hand side, we have the data panel. On the data panel, you can see here I have financials and periods. That's to tell you that my data set contains of only two tables. And if you want to see the table that is contained in your data set, you go to the table view. You'll click on the table view. Once you click on the table view, it brings up the table that is contained in your data set. You can see the financials. In that financial tables, the columns in my financial tables. When you click on this, it expands the button. It shows you each column in the table. All this represents columns in the table. You can see some of the columns have the sigma. This will tell you that some. Why some has the date sigma. This will tell you the date and time data type. Okay. Then you can collapse the data panel. When I click on this, it collapses the data panel. You can also expand it by clicking on this. It expands the data panel. Now, on the left-hand side, we have different types of view. The first is the report view. The next is the table view. The next is the model view, while the last is the dashboard view. Okay, when I click on the report view, it takes me back to my previous page. Now, once I click on this, I can see the various columns I have in that particular table. Now, after the data panel, I have my visualization panel. All this visualization I created here, I created this visualization using this visualization here. So when I click on any visualization, for instance, overview, that brings me to this overview page. When I click on financial analysis, it takes me to the financial analysis pages. So I make use of this visualization button. In this interactive dashboard. When I go to market analysis, I click on market analysis. It takes me to that particular page. So it takes me to that particular page. So that is where we create a visualization. I can also collapse this visualization by clicking on this. It collapses the visualization. Why this is a filter? When I click on that, it tells me to create a filter that I can use to filter my data sets. So I can also collapse the filter. Here I can click the view filter. When I click on this particular command to hide the filter, when I publish that filter, the filter will be hidden to the final consumer. Let me click this back to the overview. Okay, the bottom of your Power BI screen, At the bottom of the Power BI screen, at the bottom of our Power BI screen, at the bottom of our Power BI screen, we have some pages here. We have some pages at the bottom of our Power BI screen. We have some pages at the bottom of our Power BI screen. This actually gives me my desktop view, which you are seeing. Why this is to create a phone layout. Once you click on this, it helps you in creating a phone layout. Now your Power BI has the software which you can install on your phone. You can install that on your phone. So this is the phone layout. I can simply drag and drop I can simply drag and drop here, and I rearrange this. So I can use that to create a visualization. But once you create a visualization with the phone layout, it shows you how your visualization will look like on your phone. It shows you how it will look like on your phone. So I can drag and drop my visualizations here, and I rearrange that in my Power BI screen. Okay. So if I want to return back to the desktop format, I click on this to return back to the desktop format. That brings me back to the desktop format. Also at this view menu, we have the mobile layout here. I can also click to go to create a mobile view. In other words, when I publish this Power BI dashboard I've created online in the Power BI service, when I publish it in Power BI service, how do I want those that want to view my dashboard on their phone? How do I want them to see it? That is where this Power BI mobile layout or this layout comes in. You can customize how people can view your dashboard on their phone. So now you can see I have 3 pages here. When you click on one page, it opens to the next. When you click on another page, it opens to the next. If I want to create additional pages, I click on this to create additional pages. If I want to delete that, I click on the cancel button or I right click. The moment I right click, it gives me different options. I could decide to duplicate, to rename, delete, and hide that particular sheet. Okay. Now on this part of the part, we have this button here. This can help you to increase, how to zoom in and zoom out your Power BI window. Can help you to zoom in, can help you to zoom out your Power BI window. So okay, can help us to zoom in and zoom out our Power BI window. Now, the Power BI can be used to create different type of analysis, just like what you've seen here. This is the analysis of sales and financial. This is a market analysis, and this is a financial analysis. So Power BI can be used to create different types of analysis. Different types of analysis you can use Power BI to create different types of analysis can be created in Power BI. Also, you can use Power BI to create an analysis or you can also use it to create analysis. Are you into automobile sales, into car sales, or into real estate? You can also use Power BI to carry out analysis into real estate. You can also use Power BI to carry analysis into housing. Now, this is a particular dashboard I created for the FIFA 2024 World Cup. I used this Power BI to create this particular dashboard of FIFA 2022 dashboard. I used Power BI to create that. So you can also use Power BI to create a lot of dashboard. You can use it to do a lot of analysis. Now, this is for the FIFA 2022 dashboard that I created. You can see when you click on a particular when you click on a particular country, it gives you it gives you a particular visualization about that particular country. When I can come here and I decide I want to change the year to 2010, and I hit on enter, and the moment I do that, it tells me the total World Cup. It affects the visualization. So you can use Power BI to create a lot of visualization. So now the question is this: how can we bring in data into Power BI? How can you load data into Power BI? So let's see how we can bring data into Power BI. I want to bring a data set into Power BI. How can I bring in data into Power BI? So let's see how we can bring in data into Power BI. Okay. Now, in order to load in data into Power BI, to bring data into Power BI, you click on the Get Data. Then when you click on the Get Data, it gives you the variety of sources of data that you can get data from into Power BI. Power BI supports a lot of data sources. In other words, you can get data from many sources, from a variety of sources in Power BI. Now you can get data from an Excel workbook. You can get data from even a Power BI. You can get data from an SQL server. You can get data from a text or CSV file. You can get data from a blank query. If you want to see more, let's click on this, and it will give us more sources of data in which you can get data into Power BI. Now you can see the all. We can see you can get data from all those sources into Power BI. You can see Power BI supports a large variety of data sources. Now you can get data from various sources into Power BI. A lot of them. You want to see file, these are the files where you can get data into Power BI. Database programming, various database programming which you can get data from into Power BI. And there is a lot and a lot of them. Why this is others. You can get data into Power BI. So you want to load data into Power BI. What do you need to go to get data? If I want to click on get data, you click on the source of data in which you want to load in data into Power BI. For instance, if I want to load in data from a web browser into Power BI, all I need to do is to click on web. Then when I click on web, Power BI is going to bring up a window whereby I can use a loading of data into Power BI. Now you can see Power BI is telling me from web. To get data from web is asking from the URL, is asking for the URL of that particular data set. So now let me go to my Google and let me browse. Let me browse a particular data set, and we are going to load that data set into Power BI so we can see how we can data into Power BI. Now, okay, let me look at let me say World Cup. Okay, let me just type World Cup. Okay, let me click on this. Now, the government it brings up the page. When it brings up the page, all I need to do is to copy the URL of that particular page, and I'm going to paste it on Power BI. Though there are some pages, some websites, you can get data from this website into Power BI. except you get permission to get this data set into Power BI. So as we wait for this, it's loading. So there's some websites whereby they're restricted from getting data into Power BI. Okay, let's wait. It's still loading. Okay, I think it has finished loading now. Okay, now let's try to see. Let's get okay. Let's just get some tables. Let's just get a web page that contains tables. Then we'll try to load that into Power BI. We can try loading this into Power BI, but this is not a table. This is not a table. But let's see how we can. Okay, now let's copy this. But this is not a table. Let's try to look for a table so we can copy a table into Power BI. And that will be. Let's try to see if we can get a table. Okay. Okay, we have tables here. Now let's copy this. You are going to click on this URL. You are going to copy that. Now, once you copy that, you go to your Power BI window. When you get your Power BI window, you paste that there and click on OK. Then when you click on OK, now if Power BI, if the site, the website is not restricted in copying data, if that data set will be able to be copied into Power BI. So now is voting. Let's see. Let's keep waiting. Let's wait as it establishes connection between Power BI and that website. At times it takes time, and at times, but most times it takes some time to establish connection. Now you can see it's still trying to establish connection between Power BI with that particular site. Okay, let's just exercise patience. Now you can see it's still booting, it's still establishing the connection. That's how you can get data from a website into Power BI. So some website that is restricted. If the website is restricted, Power BI is going to tell you that a particular website is restricted, that copying data from that website is not possible. me just exercise patience while Power BI tries to copy data, try to connect to that particular data, import the data into Power BI. Okay, now you can see these represent the various data sets that have been imported into Power BI. To now import this data into Power BI, what you need to do is to click on the check box of a particular data in which you are interested in. While on the right-hand side, it shows you the view of the data sets. Now you can see this is a particular data set. If you're interested in that particular data set, you leave it. If you're not interested, you uncheck that particular checkbox. Now you click on another checkbox, and it reviews the content of that particular table. Now you can see. So if you're interested in that, you leave it and you keep clicking on the checkbox. You click on the checkbox. You can also drag this to be able to view your data set. You can also drag this to be able to view your data set. And if you will need more, you can also still click on that. And on this right-hand side is going to preview it. And once you are done with that, the next thing you need to do, on the right-hand side of your Power BI screen, you have 3 buttons. The first is the load button. When you click on the load button, it loads your dataset into Power BI. But when you look at this dataset, there are some datasets that are not in order. We might like to clean the dataset. So we might like to do some data cleansing and transformation. So you use the transformation button. While you click the cancel button to take that particular action. So I click on the transform button. When I click on the transform button, that will take me into the Power Query editor. That will take me into the Power Query editor. Now here is the Power Query editor. Now you can see we've successfully import our dataset into Power BI. So, sorry, if these are query editor now, we're in the query editor. So now finally import the dataset into Power BI. For instance, let's assume that there's nothing to do with this data. You can see we have not here. Not doesn't really not doesn't really give a good meaning to dataset. So let's assume that everything are in order. To now load the data into Power BI, all the what you need to do is to click on this button and click on close and apply. Close and apply will close the Power Query and load the dataset into Power BI. While the close, we just close it without we just close the Power BI query. While the apply is going to apply every correction you've done, every transformation you've done on the dataset. While close and apply, you close the Power Query window and apply every formatting and transformation you've done. You deleted something, you deleted a row, you deleted a column, you added a row, it will apply all that. So let me simply click close and apply. But when I click close and apply, it takes me into the Power Query window. That takes me into the Power Query window. So that takes me into the Power BI window. Now this is a Power BI window. You see the dataset is being loaded into Power BI. Now once Power BI is done loading the dataset, on the right hand side you will see you will see the dataset appearing on the right hand side of the Power BI window. So now Power BI is loading this dataset. Let's just assign patience while Power BI loads the dataset into the Power BI environment. So this is how you can load the data from the web into Power BI. So we are still going to see how we can load a data. And we can also we look at how we can load an Excel file into Power BI. We can also look at how we can load the CSV file into Power BI. And also we are going to look at how we can load the text file into Power BI. Well, the procedure in loading all those different formats of file formats into Power BI are all the same. But we are going to look at it one after the other. Let's wait for Power BI to load this particular data set into the Power BI window. Okay, now you can see the data set has been successfully loaded into Power BI. Now you can see the data set has been successfully loaded into Power BI. Now you can see the table on my right hand side there, you can see the table for the attendance, you can see the table for the results, you can see the table, team rate, and you can see the total work score. Now, once you click on this, let's take a view. Let's look at the table, let's take a view. Now, once you click on that, that takes you to the table view. Now you can view your data sets in the table view. This is a data set we've successfully loaded into Power BI. This is a data set we successfully loaded into Power BI. Now we can click to the other tables that we loaded in Power BI. So this is how you can load a data from the web into Power BI. This is how you can load the data from the web into Power BI. Okay. Now let's see how we can load data from other an Excel file into Power BI. So you click on Get Data. Since the source of data, my data set is located in Excel, I'll click on the Excel workbook. Then when I click on the Excel workbook, it brings up the open dialog box. It brings up the open dialog box. It brings up the open dialog box where I'm going to brings up the open dialog box where I'm going to get the okay, brings up the open dialog box. I'm going to locate where my data set is. Where my data set is, I'm going to locate where the file is. Well, when you locate where your file is, when you locate where your file is, you double click on that particular folder where your file is located. Once you double click on the particular folder where your file is located, you double click on that folder where your file is located. My file is located in this particular folder. Okay, you locate your file. Once you locate your file, you double click on that. When you double click on that, when you double click on that particular folder where your file is located at, it will bring up a menu. It will bring up a it will take you to the navigator dialog box. Now it will bring you up to this point now. So now this is my Excel file. My Excel file, I have different sheets in my Excel file. Let me open my Excel file. So let's take a view of the Excel file. Let's take a look at the Excel file. So you can see this my Excel file. In my Excel file, I have 3 sheets in my Excel file. As you can see, I have 3 sheets in my Excel file. The first sheet, okay, I have up to 5 sheets in my Excel file. So you can see the various sheets I have in my Excel file. So I have up to 5 sheets. So when I want to load this particular data set into Power BI, I'm going to select the sheets I'm interested in loading into Power BI. Now you can see the 5 sheets I have. So I click on the first sheet. On the right-hand side, you can view the data set. If you're interested in loading all the sheets into Power BI, which I am, all what you need to do is to click on the checkbox beside it. And once you are done, you can see my data set. It has column 1, column 2, column 3. This is not the proper name for column for column. So I want to format that particular data set, and you can see I have not values. So there's a lot of things to do in this data set. So what I need to do, I click on the transform button. So that takes me into the Power Query window. That brings me into the Power Query window. Now in this Power Query window, I can now start formatting my data set. So let me simply delete this total workup. I don't need it. Let me delete that. I'm going to right click and click on delete. Well, now I click on delete. So the data we imported from the web, I don't need those data. So I don't need those data we imported from the website. So let me simply delete them off. So now this is how to import an Excel file into Power BI. So this is how to import an Excel file into Power BI. So there also you want to import the text file or CSV file into Power BI. It's still the same method and the same procedure you can use to import the CSV file into Power BI. It's still the same method you can use to import the text file into Power BI. Now you can see in this my particular data set, a lot of things is wrong with this data set. First and foremost, I have commission row, and I have only data here, and this is not I. So I want to delete that. All what I need to do, I have to go to my Power BI. I go to remove rows, top rows. Now that is the top row. I want to remove the first 2 rows. I type 2. When you type 2, you click on OK. That removes the top row. Now you can see column 1, column 2, they are not proper name for a column, for a column name. So first name, last name, salary, commission, these are the proper names for a column. So I'm going to go to my same home menu, and I'm going to click on this, use first row as header. So when I click on that, use first name as I can see, I have the first name, the last name, salary, and so now salary plus commission plus bonus is not a proper name for a column. So I can rather give it this name and double click on that. Okay, and then I click on the enter button. Okay, now I'm done with that. Then the next thing I need to do, I have to check my data set. Now you have to look at your data set. You can see my data set. This is the first name, this is the last name, this is salary, this is commission. And now first name should be a text data set. It should be a character data set. When you come to this data set, you can see this is text. So that data set is correct. I'm going to check for the last name is ABC. I click on this. The last name is correct. Now, once this is mandatory, you need to check your data set because once your data type is wrong, once the data type is wrong, it will give you problem creating visualization in Power BI. So you click on salary, you can see the salary column is giving me decimal number, and of a truth, the values in that column is decimal number. I can also round up that. Okay, then let's look at commission, salary plus bonus. Now you can see that now I have some extra column here. Now this extra columns, I want to delete this extra column off. Now to delete this extra column, I'm going to go to my home menu. I'm going to go to remove columns. I click on that and I'm going to click on remove column. We have two options here. The first one is remove columns, the other one is remove other columns. Now, column 6 is what is selected. So if I'm interested in removing only column 6, all I need to do is to click on remove columns. But if I want to remove all other columns, I want to keep only column 6. I want to keep only column 6. I'm going to click on the other options that says remove other columns. The very moment I do that, it removes all other columns and leaves only column 6. So I can undo that. On this part of my Power Query window, I have steps that are applied. So if I want to reverse a particular step, I want to cancel the last step or the last command I took, I'm going to click on this cancel button. Then when I click on the cancel button, it reverses that particular command. Why on this particular text box here, we have properties here. It gives you the name of the table you are working on. Now you can see this table is sheet 1. I can decide to rename this table to name as staff salary because sheet 1 is not a proper name for a table, and I hit the enter button. That the name of the table changes here. So on this part of your Power Query window, you see the various tables that is being loaded into your Power Query editor. While yet you have the steps, and at this place you have a particular name of the table you are working on. So now we are going to wrap up this class here, and we are going to continue next week. So, but before then, let's quickly see this. Now I can have this column 6. I want to remove this column 6.